start this recorder too. Looks like it's working. So April the 16th, 2015.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to my Aunt Helen Stark. So I wanted to ask you a few questions about some of our ancestors, starting with the earliest ones back, or the latest ones, I guess. And so I want to ask you about your brother, about my dad.
What about him?
I just want to ask you about some of the things whenever you were a young kid that y'all used to do.
Yeah, you know that he was about 18 months apart, and when we were young, I remember me and him fighting all the time because he, playing fighting.
Yeah.
Not bad fighting, just playing fighting.
Like brothers and sisters would do.
Yeah, brothers that close together. It's
Yeah.
like two brothers or two sisters.
Right.
And then when we'd get mad at Mom and Dad, we'd get off somewhere and say, "Well, I wish they'd have had a girl." Or, I'd say, "I wished I had a girl that understands me." And your dad would say, "Well, me too. I wished he'd had a son. Me and I wouldn't have to go to Cotton Patch." Now James and I finally got where that I had rather go to. Mother made me. If I stayed at the house, she made me go to the top step. Do you remember the upstairs?
Yeah.
At the whole house, and I had to clean it, and I waited so till I hated so I'd play sick, and she'd let me go on the cotton patch with Daddy. And as soon as we'd get to the cotton patch, out there, I'd hold a little while, and then I'd say, "I'm just sick. I just feel bad." And he'd say, "Well, darling, go lay down under the bed." And that'd make James so mad, because here he was working, and I'd play sick and go, and I remember doing that to them.
So you would rather go out to the cotton patch because you really didn't have to work out there either.
and bale hay. I hated the bale. Now that I didn't want to do because I couldn't. It got in my hair, and I couldn't breathe under it.
Well, wait a minute now. How did y'all bale the hay? Did you have
Daddy had a baler.
Okay.
And everybody in the neighborhood borrowed it. So I don't know what happened to it after Daddy died. I guess.
So what was your part in the job?
Stick that little wire through there to be sure the apparatus,
Yeah, the baling wire.
Bailed on it.
Okay.
That was my.
Huh. How old were you when this was going on?
Well, I don't know. How old was your dad? I wasn't in Forney High School then.
You was in grade school, probably that age.
Oh yeah, that's probably I don't know, Steve.
Well, okay, so.
But I was sleeping upstairs, and as soon as James left home, I went up and took his bed upstairs. He was upstairs where he slept.
So
boogers, we thought boogers would get us up there.
Yeah, I remember that attic up there. Even when I was younger, we thought that was an interesting place to go.
Well, we had a bed up there at that time.
Of course, when I went up there was when Mama Doe was keeping the kids.
Yeah, and they'd drive you nuts.
And they were staying up there.
Up there.
Well, what about whenever he would leave, or when he left for high school, would he come home occasionally, or like on the weekends, or?
Who?
My dad.
Oh yeah. He was. I know he went out for football, but I don't remember if he played football with the team or not. It wasn't that important then.
So this before he left home, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he was still home because he'd be late and somebody had to go after him.
Miss the bus?
Yeah. Well, I don't remember riding that bus too many times. Well, most of the time, I think Daddy or somebody took us in the car.
Really?
I don't remember riding that school bus too much.
He made me ride that bus for 12 years.
I know it.
He would never let me get a car, and he wasn't there to take me. So.
Yeah, well, that's the way that. But Daddy did. I guess he or Mother one took us because I don't think we were driving then.
Well, now, whenever you were growing up there, what about any of your stepbrothers or stepsisters? Were they all gone at that time?
Yeah, they were. they were. But every weekend, some of them were home.
Oh, okay.
And that's why it made me so mad I had to clean upstairs, because they'd come in there, you know, Lewis's family,
Yeah.
and it just, you know, I'd think, well, let them clean the room themselves. You know, they messed it up. I didn't. You know, I'd have to go up there and sweep with a broom then, you know, clean on the steps, and I'd fuss because I'd had to help Mother cook too. And now I liked the cooking part, but I didn't like the clean up part. And
Well,
I'd
now-
say, well, make James get in here and do it. And she said, his daddy's got him busy doing so and so and so and so.
Well, whenever he got married to my mom, did they ever live there at y'all's house?
No.
They didn't after they got
No.
married? Okay. Well, I know that you and my mom were pretty close. Y'all
Yeah,
used to
we
do
were.
things together, didn't you?
Yeah, huh?
Didn't y'all used to do things together?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we
And-
did. And I just thought when she died, I just thought, well, you know, here we go again, and I'll never have a kid. I don't want to cause a kid or something like that. That's when I began to have to face, you know, when your mother died. I thought,
And I saw an article online, by the way, from the Forney High School.
yeah,
Showed a picture of you and her. I think were both cheerleaders at the same time,
yeah,
which I didn't know that.
oh, yeah, we were.
That's part of my
I was
ancestry research.
I was head leader,
Cheerleader.
my senior cheerleader, my senior year. I was
She would have been behind you.
yeah. She was in one year before I got to be cheerleader.
Yeah.
I want to think it was Sally Brooks, I think, or I don't know what her name was. Sally or now. What was the Brooks girl name?
It's way before me.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, let me ask you a little bit about your sister that passed away, Joyce Evelyn.
Joyce. Oh,
She was
yeah.
pretty young when she passed
Joyce.
away. Yeah.
Oh, she was going to start school that year that she died.
So she was about
And
6.
she never did get into the bed. She was so happy everybody come to the door. She'd say, me going to school Monday. Me going to school Monday. Oh, everybody, oh, you are. You know, and everybody, because she was a pretty big girl, even though she was sick.
Huh.
And
So she never made it to school?
never made it to go to school a day. We kept saying if she could just make it a day or two, you know. But she couldn't when it hit it. And you know, I was sitting with her. Mother had been with her for I don't know how many hours, and she was just out. Mother was, you know, and so they decided to let me stay overnight. And I was sitting there, and a cat got on the screen door, the window above her bed, like she was in bed right here, and say that was the big one. There's a cat kept meow, stand out there all night long, and you know she's cry. Joyce would cry and say, "Wake Mama up, I want Mama." And I said, "No," I said, "she just wore out. You know, let her alone. I'm here to stay with you tonight, you know." And do you know that's the night she died?
So
Joyce did.
Did this happen over a long period of time, her being sick?
Yeah. It was, I guess it was lung problems, so I presume it was pneumonia.
Well, I was told the story that it was heart problems.
Oh, it was. Her heart was bad. And see, they was hardly doing any hard then. They even went as far as Alabama and somewhere else, hospitals. They were doing it. And see, Fred Dozier was a doctor.
Right.
And so he had gotten in touch with some up there and said that maybe they could do something for her. And so that Daddy agreed to take her up there.
The story I heard was that she had a hole in her heart.
Yeah, she actually had holes in their heart.
And back then they didn't really know what to do.
But there was something that they had discovered up there that they didn't guarantee it, but they, it was a chance.
So
and
did he go up there? And
No, never did go because we didn't. She died beforehand, before we got ready to go.
And one of the things I heard too, which you can straighten me out, was that at one time Daddy Doe was fairly wealthy, but he spent nearly all of his money trying to get her cured.
Yeah.
Is that a true story?
Yeah, that's pretty true. He never. Well, they thought he was wealthy, but he wasn't wealthy according to today. You know.
Yeah,
but he had plenty.
For back
then. They lived comfortably, and
And that was all just basically from
farming.
Farming, yeah.
From farming. But he was kind of tight in his pocketbook too. He didn't,
I guess that's how my dad got that habit.
Yeah. Well, yes. Really, I hadn't thought about that. Well, yeah, he was pretty tight. He held on to his money, but it went for that. Then there wasn't any such thing as insurance for sickness, and he was paying big doctor bills, big bills to doctors and to.
For Joyce Evelyn?
Yeah, Joyce. And they did, at one time, they wanted her to come at their expense somewhere out of state. And it was experimenting, with it. And Daddy wouldn't go because he said no, says they couldn't guarantee it,
Yeah.
that she didn't die or something, and he wouldn't take the chance anyhow. But
what about your brother that died, that had the
Bryce
that had the accident? Fell down the stairs there.
Yeah, fell down the stairs. But also before that, he got jacked off a horse out there. I know many kids playing with it. It was a wild, you might say, riding horse.
Mm-hmm.
But he was mean, and he got thrown off him, and then he fell down the stairs, and he had a knot on his back. You didn't remember him seeing him.
Well, no, I came a long way after he was.
Starting right up here at his shoulder, it looked like they had just drawn a thing like this. He was in this shape.
Yeah, I understand he was in pain most of the time.
He was. He was.
Well,
he would go to talk, and he'd have to, get his breath and talk.
Well, you're remembering all this pretty good.
Well,
you were thinking you didn't.
We talked about it a lot when Ned Joe was alive. Well, we'd get talking about the things that happened up there.
I understood that he was pushed down the stairs.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? He just fell down the stairs?
He just fell down the stairs. I never did hear he was pushed down.
Okay.
But
that's a good thing, actually.
Yeah, but he was sick. Mother, I can remember her telling me that when he was a little boy, that thing started growing. Of course, now Fred Dozier, who is a cousin, he made a doctor out of himself, and he's talked, to us about it, and he said once this heart is just all that he probably already had some heart trouble, is what he's trying to tell us.
Yeah.
That he had holes in his heart, and that he probably would die under if they give him anesthetic to operate. That he couldn't stand up. So I don't know, but I can just see Daddy Doe now coming to Forney to catch in Urban.
Yeah, they own an urban
railroad.
Yeah.
And to take him to Parkland Hospital. Fred had done his, whatever you call it, the doctors have to do there, and they wanted to see him.
Yeah, he did his residency there?
Yeah. And of course he ended up dying himself before it's all over. Then.
About how old do you think?
Who?
Bryce.
When he died, I don't know. I don't know. I'd say maybe 20, but maybe not
Well,
that.
he was older or younger than you?
Oh, he was older than me,
Okay.
and he was a little older than James.
So Mama Doe had 4 children: Bryce, Dad, you, and then Joyce Evelyn.
Yeah, and Lewis. You didn't count Lewis.
Well, it wasn't Lewis. That was from that wasn't from Mama Doe's children, right? Wasn't he from Pearl?
You know, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that.
Because you had Aunt Mildred
Yeah.
and Lewis,
Yeah, that's right.
and they were from your
Yeah,
stepmom.
that's right.
Well,
That was from the Yeah.
not your stepmom. She
Yeah.
passed away before you were
Yeah,
born. So.
before I got into the family.
Well, tell me a little bit or what you know about Daddy Doe and Mama Doe's marriage.
Well, they were happy until, I don't know, Mother got wild air in herself and she was married to an old man, and she never had a good time. She had to stay home and work there. And now she had married Pete, and that's all. And every time I even was around her, I'd say, yeah, it wasn't that he had a money and a farm here, and, you know, you wasn't hunting a man, So I always fussed about it. But that's when Mother kind of lost her goop.
Well, what I was really asking was how they met and how that marriage got put together and all that. Because I know Pearl died.
Yeah, I don't have any idea.
And he had all those kids
Yeah,
to take care of. And
yeah,
I was told the story
they were little kids, all right, when they married. But
yeah, that was the story I was told. That
yeah.
he had these kids and he had to run a farm, and he really needed to have a wife. So that his neighbor, Mama Doe's dad, had that farm not too far across the hill.
Across
So it must have had something to do with that, being close by, and
yeah.
I guess that's how they met.
Uncle Aunt Lily was Chapman, and they ended up selling that farm to him.
Which farm?
Oh, well, it's just before you get to Daddy.
I mean, you talking about where Daddy Doe's?
Yeah, not where Daddy's. You know where the Costellos live?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, it's off of that road over there, but
okay.
It.
So you're saying Aunt Lily sold the farm to who?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, Mama Doe's dad had a farm somewhere over the hills. All I knew.
Oh yeah, it was if you're on that road over there. See, they're on this like this. Here's what we call the. Here you went up to the a little right in front of our house. Do you remember our house?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember there was a road in front that went up here to the Bannister house?
Yeah.
Well, the Brooks owned all that Bannister farm in there behind him. All here, right in front of the Costello house over there. Okay. Right there. And that finally got out of hands into somebody else. I don't know. It's passed around, I think.
Well, did you know Mama Doe's dad much? Did you get to?
No.
Okay.
I hardly remember him at all. I can remember him because he used to, of all them kids that he had, none of them were either physically, mentally, no, they said they was physically unable to take care of Grandpa Hal. And Mother ended up with Grandpa Hal the biggest part of the time, taking care of him.
Well, I seem to remember him staying there at Daddy Doe's house as he was getting, real old.
Yeah, and cranky. But now, Daddy wasn't all that cranky.
No, I never remember Daddy Doe being a cranky person at all.
No, I didn't either. And
So was Lewis and Mildred still there as you
no,
were a kid, or?
I think they were about 14 or 15. Anyhow, Mother said that. Now I don't know which one it was, but one of them was. They took. Oh, I guess it was the girl. I don't know. Anyway, it's been so long since we even discussed that, probably.
Yeah.
But Mother always felt like And I said to her, I said, well, why did you marry him? You knew he had them kids, you know? Why did you marry him?
Well, I understood that it was kind of one of those marriages where Daddy Doe gave some land to her dad, and kind of what do they call that? What do you call it?
Yeah, well,
Trading.
Well, but not a fixed marriage, but anyway, there's one word.
well, Lewis and Mildred always felt like they had been done in, and
Promise
them
marriage or something like
and Mother didn't see eye to eye. And if it wasn't been for me, I've talked Mother out of many a time doing, saying, I'm not going to let that come in our house anymore. And she didn't ever, but she wanted to, because they did get a lot of attention from Daddy, But that was her children. That's just like, well, it's like that if we had another kid under me, and Lewis and now I know Lewis never voiced himself to me, but Mildred did. Thought Mother was mean to her, but I never saw that.
Well, it seemed like they were pretty close as Aunt Mildred got older, and
Yeah,
as
she
away.
got up and left home. Well, but whenever at Christmas time, we would all Mother would make an effort to invite them to
We
come
all came together at Christmas time. I
Yeah.
remember as a little kid.
And so, but Lewis and Mildred, I think they resented the fact that Daddy's later years, he kind of done what he did. He turned everything over to me. I got a lot of that yep. I mean, he asked me would I help him at the bank and all that kind of stuff, and I ended up being the money girl.
Yeah.
Unless, I don't know what, now how come, well, he picked me because I had married then, whenever, both of them died. I can remember the night that, Joyce Evelyn died. Mother had to set up with her for 2 weeks and wouldn't let anybody else set up with her. And finally, she got so wore down till she agreed to let me sit. And I wasn't married then. I was just courting him. And I'd sit over there and listen to that cat going meow, meow. And I'll never forget that. It burned a hole in my head.
What can you tell me about any of Daddy Doe's brothers or sisters?
Well,
I don't know hardly anything about them.
Well, they used to get together every Christmas, somewhere at somebody's house. And mostly it was at Aunt Lily's house. She'd married Savannah, Uncle Savannah Chapman. That was Daddy's sister that married the Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And her house or Uncle Jim's house out yonder in the country.
Her house was up here in town. I remember that.
Yeah. And seemed to me like there was another one that would have the dinner. But then nobody would have and it grew so big because I remember going to some of their houses.
And then come back and take your shot.
So
I'm not going to bring it to you.
Were there many that lived in town close by, or did they?
No, they lived, and that was one thing too. They was too far away to keep. Well, I've got first cousins that I wouldn't know if they walked in the door, and very few of them I would know. And we went, to dinner, but I was a kid then. I didn't care what people looked like.
Well, did you get to meet Daddy Doe's dad?
No.
You were too young for that.
I was too young for that.
He was probably passed away by then, or his mom.
I don't know, but we went to, Daddy said that who bought that car? Somebody bought a car, a second-hand car, and Daddy said, well, I'm going to Tennessee. And I was a senior that year, and so he wanted to take me with him, and Hubert Lee and I went with him back to Tennessee, and we visited all his old that Daddy remembered, you know,
Yeah.
because he had visited with his parents, those parents before they died.
Well, I
And-
know Leslie and Brian rode their motorcycles up
Yeah,
to that area and found the grave of Daddy Doe's dad
yeah,
and
Yeah.
helped fix it up.
yeah,
And I'm sure that was a good trip. I would
Yeah.
like to have gone
Yeah.
on that.
yeah. Well, it's like I said, I guess, and I feel bad because that families do break up finally, but they get bigger and bigger till people can't have them in their homes.
It's just a natural process.
But I know I've got first cousins all over the country, and I don't know. Mary Dean, and of course she's dead, and Ada Lou, now she's dead, and it's Uncle Dee's. That was Uncle Dee's two girls, and they're already dead, and the two of them, and it's just I'm sure that some of them died this and then they had nobody bothered to call me because they didn't know me, because I was just a young girl, and with the same thing the Starks started out there for several years. We had a family gathering regardless. And now, when the parents die, it just dies out.
I had always heard the story that Daddy Doe, as a child, walked behind the covered wagon when they moved down here to Texas. But I recently read something, and I'm not sure where I read that in my research.
No, he rode the train.
He rode the train.
He was on the train.
That him and, I guess, his mom followed behind after they came down with the wagons and got settled, and then they followed later on the train.
There was I don't forgot which one of the brothers had a little book, and he wrote on it every day. And we found it in that one time when I was over at Aunt Laurel's. I was helping her clean out the upstairs in her house, because one of the girls, I guess it was Mary Dean, I don't know, to come home and live a while before she went to school. And we found that little book that one of them had wrote in, and I said, "Oh Lord!" And so when I showed it to Eddie Merle, I said, "Can I have this?" "No, you can't." See, Uncle Billy, her daddy, was the oldest.
Yeah, and Ed Merle was kind of the family ancestry keeper.
Yeah. And so I said, "Well, I wish you'd leave it to me someday." Well, I found out that when Aunt Laurel died, and I don't know who cleaned the house out. Somebody cleaned the house out, and they threw it away.
Oh no.
And that was no telling. That was it was the whole Dozier.
And that was one of the brothers that came down with the wagon, and he was keeping
That was
a journal.
right. He was keeping every day. Every day.
Oh my gosh.
And they had a wild time. They sometimes in there it would say, and I read it myself, and I said, "Oh Lord, I would give anything for this." And Merle said, "Well, I'll give it to you someday." But see, she never had a daughter-in-law. Her boys. I think there's some of them married now.
Are you talking about Edna Merle?
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't get the book, right?
No, Ed Merle had the book. That's where I saw it.
But you said somebody cleaned out her house when she passed away?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought
she was living up here in an old house.
Across from
It was upstairs, because that's where she slept. Was upstairs.
Across from the clinic there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so the boys didn't keep it?
No,
they threw it away?
They said they burned it up.
Who did you talk to?
I don't know. It was somebody that had helped clean the house, and they said, "Well, I just got thrown away." It was just I said, "Do you realize was the whole Dozier family thing?" No, oh no. But they had already told me that they thrown away all the junk upstairs. And
well, I got a copy that I need to pull out of my boxes that I didn't ever read, but I collect. In my research, I collect as much as I can, but I don't have time to read all the details.
Yeah.
So I got a copy of a book. It's just Xerox copies, but from Edna Merle's family, one of the boys, And maybe it's in there. I'll look and see.
Maybe it is.
Maybe they copied it before.
Maybe they said.
If not, I'll get a hold of Jakey. Remember Jakey Penny?
Yes, yes.
I know how to get in touch with him, and
Well, yeah, he might know too.
that'd be great to
Uh-huh.
read that.
Yeah.
Because
Well-
one of the things in Ancestry.com that I'm doing is I put media in there, pictures and stories, so it'll be there. So if
See,
anybody
that's
ever
just-
wants to see it,
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
So
Oh,
that would be
yeah.
a great thing to have. I hope I can find
Oh,
that.
I just cried when I heard. I said, "Are you sure that we?" Yeah, that's a bunch
Can you
of
tell
junk.
me some of the stories that you read in that book?
No. Oh, yeah. One time, Daddy, the book, and it said that we got so hungry for fresh fruits that we went through it. We saw an orchard and got out and pulled fruit out of that man's orchard. Then
no.
got run out with a gun.
Stole peaches.
And there they was out there in their orchard eating their fruit, and of course Dad, and see, Ollie and I went back to there just several years back now. Went to that country, and then there was people that were still remembering some of the Doziers, and out in the cemetery out there, there's a Jillian Dozier buried out there. And I
That's
didn't
kind of
know.
where it all started, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they're just, they was, so we walked all over that, and that was right before I got sick with my tumor. But I would have gone back if I hadn't got down.
Well, before they went there, they were in Virginia.
Were they really?
Yeah. I have found a copy online, and now I have ordered a better copy from the Library of Virginia that is a document where Leonard Dozier,
Yeah.
he was one of the first ones that came over, and he's the first one that got naturalized. In other words, that's where you apply to get citizenship from coming over from France into the United States. And it's a document where it's been signed by the
There's
local,
a lot of them there, or there wouldn't be so many of them in that cemetery there.
Yeah. Well, then they moved from there to different places.
Yeah.
And Tennessee was
Yeah.
one of where our ancestors.
In Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah.
But that Mary Dean was it Mary Dean? Yeah, I guess it was Mary Dean. Yeah, it was Mary Dean. She went with us, and we went back to Tennessee. And of course, we just proud, and we was just there to proud. But they still knew the Dozier family. They, you'd run into people and they'd say, "Oh yeah," said, and it was Mary Dean told us one time. She said, "If I've never had anything in my life, I appreciate y'all letting me go with you." I said, "Well, no, let me go." She was one of them that suggested we go back to Tennessee to look up Daddy's.
Now, was this Bell Buckle, Tennessee?
Yeah.
That's where you went?
Yeah.
Because that's where Daddy Doe came from. Is what
But
I
they were
understand.
out in the country, in a little small town out there. Not small now. And somebody told me that I should go down to the courthouse and ask for the papers or something, but we never did. We wasn't there when we could get to the courthouse.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I would love to go back there someday, see all that again. And the house, some guy showed us the house they thought that the Doziers lived in before they all, but he was money, in other words, he had money. Old man. Daddy's daddy.
That would be Robert Johnson, right?
Well, no, whatever his name was, I don't know.
Well,
But it indicated, everywhere we went, it indicated that the family had money.
Now, when Les came back from going up there to fix the grave marker,
Yeah.
he had pictures, and he told me some stories. And if I remember this correctly, the grave site for Daddy Doe's dad was on the property that they had, and
Yeah.
I guess when they left, maybe I don't know if they sold it or what, but a portion of it was where I guess some of the slaves back then, they owned that piece of property. Now I don't know
Oh, really?
if Daddy
Maybe
Doe's
run
dad
off.
deeded it to them or what,
Huh.
but their family had stayed there, and from what I understand from Les, and so, they had a conversation with them, and so they told them, they were there
Well, we
to
found
fix the grave.
found a person too that would talk to us about it, and they said, "Oh yeah," said we knew him,
Huh.
and but we found a grave out there that was, it was they was Mary Dean's age, and it was right out there with them other Doziers. She said, said, "Wonder who in the world this is, and who did he belong to?"
Well, there's always people that kind of hang around where they were growing
Yeah,
up.
where they were growing, but out in that cemetery there, you could just look and see Doziers, and there was plenty of them around.
Well, now, the ancestry list that I've got is huge, and of course, I started just by following the line that went from Daddy Doe back up. But there's all of their brothers and sisters as you go back, and then those just spread and keep going. So, yeah, there's cousins that would
the cousins that
innumerable,
Yeah.
You'd have to follow a long line probably to find some of those that you found the grave.
Yeah. And never anything bad. We never did run into with all talking about.
What, no horse thieves or
No.
nobody was hung or
No.
Oh, I bet there was. We just don't know
I bet there
about
was. It wouldn't be public.
it.
I don't know, but I know he was. Well, that from what we got together, they were pretty well off financially, and people thought they were nuts when they left because they had so much.
Well, I wonder what they did back then. I know what they did in Texas. Cotton was the big thing, but I wonder what they did up there.
Well, I think they farmed. What?
Yeah, but I wonder if there was like one special crop. Like down here, cotton was king.
Yeah. I don't know. You need to go back.
I would love to go up there someday, and I'd like to do that.
We're going to somebody suggested to us that we go to City Hall in that place, but it was too far away from where we were, and dig in there and then could find some things about the Doziers. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to keep you up here too long, unless you've got another story or two about Mom or Dad.
Your mother? No, only I think they were good for each other.
Oh yeah,
I
think
do.
so.
I do, and
Definitely.
Ned Jo nobody ever. She didn't take things. Well, she did take things seriously, and she couldn't allow nobody to talk about her family. But
She was a proud mom.
yeah, she was a proud mom, and it's a shame thinking, and him too. I don't know. As Daddy said, if we knew what was ahead of us. I remember when Joyce Evans died, I was just carried away because I felt like she was mine, and I diapered her and everything, and I was just killed. And I said something to Mother, I said Daddy about it, and he said, "Sis, I want to tell you this." He said, "I have buried a lot of people I love dearly." And he said, "If I'd have known," said, "the Lord don't intend for you to know what's ahead of you."
That's true.
And said, "I couldn't have lived if I had have known, all the, especially starting from Bryce, his children down." Yeah. And
a lot of heartaches.
And Daddy told me that. I forgot. I don't know. It's after I was married or something. I don't know. But I was talking to him, and he told me this. Said, "Now, sis, I want to tell you this." And I said every time, where did he go? Oh,
His Uncle Ollie and
were they all together?
Where he stays, Mom.
he's
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom again?
Well, he's getting his teeth roasting everything.
Now remember,
You heard about him?
Remember, I'm taping this conversation, so you might want to be keep that private. I don't.
When I come in, he'd had a wreck. Not a bad wreck, but anyway.
No, Mom, he didn't have a wreck.
He didn't have one at all.
He got lost. I think Steve knows.
Yeah, I know about that. That's a while back.
And it's just, he doesn't know, it's not the same Ollie that I married 72 years ago. It's a shame. I mean, it breaks my heart, but.
Well, he is the same person.
Yeah, I know it,
He is
but
the same person.
one day I went up to him here and I said, "Hey, do you know me?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, who am I?" Well, he didn't call me Helen. He said, "You're my wife." And I said, "Well, thank God." I said, I hope you remember that." And
Oh, I'm sure he
but
does.
well, I know, but he'd never know it. He's just yonder.
Yeah.
And everywhere Leslie goes, and he's asking, is there anything to do for him? And so far we haven't run into anything. But they just said once the brain's out, you're out. So I guess you are. I don't know. But
Well, we got lots of good memories of things, don't we?
oh yeah, we do. And Daddy was. You can remember him enough to know he was.
I love Daddy Dog. I loved him so much.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, you did. I can remember you as a little boy.
You know, when he passed away, I had dreams about him.
Did
Not
you really?
just days or months.
Yeah.
I'm talking years.
Yeah.
And I kept dreaming that I would see him somewhere. We would be somewhere, and I'd see him, and he was like with another family, and he would see me, and we would know that we knew each other, but then he would leave, and
oh Lord.
so, of course I was a young person, so
yeah.
you make impressions
Yeah.
whenever you're young.
But Daddy was one that, he's supposed to be against dancing, and when I come along and asked to go to a dance, he looked at me and he said, "Well, yes." And I'd been told, don't ask him, that Mother, I think, told me that he wasn't going to let me go dancing ever. He didn't believe in dancing.
Wait a minute, now he wasn't a Baptist, he was a Methodist.
I know it.
We believe in dancing. But he didn't at first, or?
I don't know, it never did stop me.
Oh, okay.
And I went, and so, they figured I was rotten because I was the latest one, latest little person.
You were the baby.
Baby, and so.
After Joyce Evans.
Yeah. And then he had that kid, well, first thing he's done is lost his first wife, see? And left these little.
What did she die of, do you know?
I don't know. I haven't got any record at all about when.
Well, and you wouldn't have known her, cause
no, I wouldn't have known her,
passed away
but
before you were born, but
no,
didn't know if you'd heard the stories and all that. So.
no, I hadn't. But it's like I said, if you're not supposed to know what's ahead of you, if you did, you'd be a wild country, wouldn't it? Wild people and wild everything.
I saw a picture a while back of Uncle Ollie and Dad.
Did you?
And they were dressed all GQ, and they were just kind of standing out somewhere, and
with their hand
arm
on their
propped up on their hip, and you could tell that they were young and loose.
Yeah. Did you know that J.L. Hellman died?
Yeah.
We didn't. I didn't know that till.
Yeah, that was recent, real recent.
I saw some of them out there a while ago. Saw the car he's buried right here behind our shed. And I didn't realize that his wife was already dead, and he already had the one that we knew.
His daughter Sandra is one of my Facebook friends, so
oh really?
I knew about all that like that. So.
Yeah. Well,
Aunt Helen, I guess I better wrap it up. So
go for the day.
It's getting your bedtime. 6 o'clock.
Well, that's about right. I've been going about 6:30.
I don't want to hold you or your caretaker up here, so.
Our caretaker right there has been sleeping at night. She gonna get him to sleep at night. Can't get him in bed at night. He'll say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed," and they'll go to their bed, and in a little while they'll wake up or see the light come on, and he's just sitting up in the chair, his today's chair, just sitting.
Cheese and crackers.
Oh, really?
And,
Midnight snack, huh?
Yeah, midnight bringing him
Not
a
just
Coke.
midnight, all night. If
It-
he's awake, he's eating.
Wearing us down, I don't know what we're gonna do about it. I don't know that anything you can do about it. I mean, that, you know,
He's got his days and nights mixed up.
he just,
I was here yesterday, and that's what the other lady said, that he thought it was morning, and it was, you know, of course, it was going on evening. So.
Yeah.
did he
What?
even know you? Did he
No,
see?
I come to visit you for your birthday,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you were in bed.
Uh,
So when
You
I got
should've
ready,
woke me up.
when I got ready to leave, I didn't even know that he was in the restroom. So I went ahead and left. I didn't bother him or anything. So
yeah,
no, I don't think he even knew I was here. So.
yeah, well, he would.
Yeah,
have.
last night's the first night she's ever stayed since he's gotten bad.
But,
Okay.
She couldn't believe it.
we had to keep somebody on duty all the time.
Well, I'm glad y'all are here to take care of him.
Well, I
really
said,
am.
you know, so, Ollie and I said, this wasn't exactly how we planned our, you know,
Y'all were going to stay, if I remember right, at the Eastern Star place
the
over in Arlington
men and a joke.
years ago.
Planned ourselves, yeah.
And
But-
then they closed one of them, the men's, I
Yeah.
think. I think when I was there last, I think the Eastern Star was still there,
Huh.
or one of either that or the men's.
I don't remember.
What is the Eastern Star?
It's an organization like, I think maybe the Masonic Lodge.
Masonic Lodge.
It's the women's.
Yeah, from them. So, but anyway, yesterday Leslie and Merlene come on about 9:30. Here they come walking in, and they had brought dinner for everybody, and then their kids started pouring in, and the girls all brought dessert.
Well, you
So
had a full day, didn't you?
we had a full day yesterday.
2 days she's been partying.
And you're 72, right?
Uh,
72. And Uncle Ollie's what?
72.
No, aren't you? I'm sorry, 92.
No,
I-
92.
I was thinking of me. I'll be
Ollie's-
72 next year.
Well, you
Yeah.
getting old.
Yeah, it
Oh.
happens, you know, if you're lucky.
Yeah. You
So-
knew Leslie sold out, didn't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he's through now.
Yeah.
He said he spent the last week or two cleaning out.
He's a retired man.
Yeah, he's gonna be retired. He's already lined up to do things. And he's taking over our finances for one thing.
Well, I was retired for a year and a half, and I had a honey-do list for about 3/4 of that.
Did you?
So he probably will too.
Well, yeah.
So you're 92, and Uncle Ollie's how old?
no, she turned 93.
93?
Or 94. I think he's a little older than
Well,
me.
Chris had on there, I thought on Facebook, I thought she said 92, but she might have said 93.
Yeah, because when I first came here, she said she was 92.
So how old is Uncle Ollie? 3 years older, or?
I think, yeah, he's a little bit older than me.
Well, yeah, he's
But
older.
Papa Stark and Ollie, our daddy, had to go down to City Hall to get our marriage license because we were underage.
Oh, you were? How old were you when you got married?
Well, when Leslie was born, I was,
Leslie said you was 17 when you got married.
Well, I think that's how old my mom was.
I think that's right. too.
And my mom didn't finish high school.
She didn't finish. I thought she did.
No.
I didn't finish but the 3rd grade. My daddy took us out of school when we got old enough to work in the field. Yep,
That happened to a lot of kids back then.
Yeah.
yep. And then when I got, up older, I didn't go to school because I was too embarrassed because I didn't know it. I couldn't do it. It was awful. I just learned how to read here about 8 years ago.
Well, but you did.
You know how
It's a
I
good thing. How?
Did he know Vera Hamilton? Did you know the Hamiltons?
Vera was one of the,
I moved in with her and took care of her for 4.5 years, and she taught me how to read out of the Bible.
she was one of the
Oh, well.
Townsends.
And honey, it's
She
just
can-
opened up a new whole world for me. I love to read now, and I used to get books, and I got books everywhere, so then my brother said, well, you ought to get you one of these tablets, and you can order them books online, and you can read your books right there online, then they won't be stacking up.
That's one of the best ways to learn the whole language. My mom She read all the time, and she did crosswords the last several years of her life. That was one of her favorite things, and that's how she kept learning new words.
Yeah.
Was crosswords. That was her favorite hobby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
It has just opened up a whole new world.
it's so. Well, yeah, it has for a lot of people, you know. But they make it more important now. That's another thing we discovered when we were in Arkansas.
Arkansas or Tennessee?
Tennessee is the desire for education, and it seemed like everybody is graduating from college or something, you know, up there.
I know I was the first one in my family, so
Yeah.
I think you're right. That was kind of a gradual process from not
To get
having
out.
anything
Yeah.
to getting grade school, high
Yeah,
school,
yeah.
college.
Well, yeah, I'm proud of Leslie. He's got it, and he said he was cleaning up the last in the finally settling, and he had to clean out everything, warehouses and everything, and they had just had 2 warehouses full of stuff outside the store, and he said they was into some of the warehouses now, and but all the guys were hired by this new concern, but one, and he was not able to go. He's not healthy. He's sickly, and he's been with Leslie a long time, but he wasn't that disturbed over him not getting a job. He said really he wasn't able to work, but.
Well, I'm going to leave you with one last question.
Okay.
If you had to look back on your life, is there any one thing that you would think that would be worthy of passing on to your kids or to anybody
not
for that
really.
matter? Not one particular thing?
I just had not one. I just had a good life, and of course Mother'd argue with him, you know, at the drop of a hat. Are you putting all this down? But she did. Don't you remember that?
I do. As a young kid, I would think to myself,
is this what marriage is?
Is that why Daddy Doe is such a patient person? Is that he's just not even listening? It would go in one ear and out the other. She's just yapping in there in the kitchen while she's cooking. He's sitting out there reading the paper, and she's talking to him, and he's just not missing a lick on reading that paper.
That's kind of the way Ollie does Helen.
Oh, he does the same thing.
Yeah, he does.
Well, I haven't had to get to that point yet, but hopefully I won't.
Oh, well, what I was going to say, all the advice I was giving to young people, I said, y'all better, you save and all that kind of thing for your, don't wait. Just go on and do what you want to do now. And while you got a wife and that you love and things that you want to do that you're going to put off, don't put it off too long. You don't ever know. I never would have guessed that this would happen to me, and I certainly didn't guess it would happen to Ollie. And he's going to come out there as sure as the world.
Well, if I had to look back on your life, from just my viewpoint, I would say that you didn't wait, that you had a really good life, and
I did.
You did a lot of things.
I did, and Ollie and I did all we wanted to do. You know, we'd have been doing something, you know, he's got out of bed saying, we're going to do so-and-so today, or we're going to do so-and-so.
Yeah.
And he lost his pep. Doesn't do that anymore. So, but anyway, you never know when, as Daddy Doe said, I keep thinking of him when he told me, but sis, wasn't meant for you to know what was going ahead of you, are you? And that's right.
If we were meant to know, we would know, wouldn't we?
Yeah, you'd know, so.
Well, I want to wish you a happy birthday.
Well, yeah, thank you.
And many more.
Well, thank you. I don't say many now. Well, many, let's say. I'm not quite ready, but one of these nights when I've been so sick, I'd wake up and I'd think, Lord, whatever you decide to do, go on and do it. I said, I'm lost asking for help you know, so whatever you can do, and if you can't do anything about all this, if there's anything you can do, do it, and otherwise I'll try to hang in there.
Well, I think this thing stopped recording. This one did, and this one may have, so I don't know how much I got, but hopefully I got a lot, and
Oh, well.
I appreciate you letting me
Well,
tape this conversation,
yeah.
and I think it'll be something that we can look at and listen
Mom,
and
take
enjoy
the
for
medicine,
years.
baby.